Hi everyone, it's me, Spring, the fiber enthusiast, and welcome to the channel. Today's tutorial is going to be a crochet stitch tutorial. And the stitch I'm going to be doing is the popcorn stitch, but here's the little twist on it. I was thinking one night and I decided that I had this idea of revising the popcorn stitch. And I worked it up and it actually works. It works awesome. And I think that a lot of folks would enjoy doing the popcorn stitch more if they didn't have to pull their hook out and reinsert the hook into the first stitch and all of that. Because it does get a little tedious. But we're going to work through this way that I have come up with. Now, I'm not sure if anybody else has ever come up with this. I've never seen anybody do it this way. I'm just going to show you what I'm calling the revised popcorn stitch. So basically what I have here is just a simple basic chain and double crochets. Then I worked the revised popcorn stitch all the way, every single one of these. So they don't look any different. I'm going to do one row with a popcorn, traditional popcorn, the original way to do a popcorn stitch. So I'm just going to work over a little bit. Now, the original popcorn stitch, if you do not know how to do a popcorn, you're going to place 5 double crochets, this is US terms, into one stitch. 4 or 5. Most of the time it's 5. So there's 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So normally what you would end up doing is, what I just did naturally there, is you would pull up a little loop so that way you don't jerk your finger and pull all the stitches out. You pull up a loop and then you count back. You can put that loop on your finger if you want. Count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's your 5th stitch. You would insert your hook from front to back into that stitch, place the loop back on your hook, and pull that loop through, creating this popcorn like that. Okay, and then you would carry on, double crochet into the next stitch, or whatever your pattern says. You're just going to continue to work your pattern, but that is the basis of doing a popcorn the traditional way. Now for me, and what I'm showing you today is what I'm calling, again, the revised popcorn. So I've worked my way over a little ways, and I'm going to set up for this revised popcorn. I'm going to place 5 double crochets, the same as we did for the standard traditional popcorn. 5 double crochets into the same stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then I'm going to move on. I'm going to continue. Double crochet into the next stitch. I'm going to keep going. I know you're saying, well, wait, you didn't make that a popcorn yet. What happened? We'll get to it on the next row. So I'm going to continue working all the way to the end here. Now I'm going to chain up 1, 2, 3, turn my work, and begin. So here we are. I'm also going to put a revised popcorn in this area as well. So I'm going to work 5 double crochets into this stitch. I'm just randomly placing them. There's no specific location. This is not a pattern. We're just doing this to show how these popcorns work. Okay, so I'm going to double crochet. I'm going to continue to place double crochets into each of the next stitches until I get to those 5. Now I am on the wrong side of the work, just as a forewarning here. All right, so I am to the first shell of 5 stitches, all into the one stitch. This is supposed to be a popcorn. How am I going to turn this into a popcorn? Well, I'm going to yarn over just as I would for a double crochet. I'm going to come in from the right side of the work with my hook into that first double crochet. Now I'm going to skip over to the last one of those 5 double crochets, insert my hook into that stitch, yarn over, and pull through both. Now I'm going to finish the double crochet, just like that. All right, so I'm going to work a few more stitches and set up for another revised popcorn. And we'll work it on the front side of your work. There's only one little difference between how you would do it on the back and how you do it on the front. All right, so there we have our 5 stitches, and just continue working across. Now, when you get to the original popcorn, the original way of doing a popcorn, it's a little bit more difficult to make sure that you get all your stitches, because there's actually a stitch right here before the popcorn and a stitch after the popcorn. And if you're not careful, you will skip it. But with the revised popcorn, you're working into the top of a double crochet instead of a slipped stitch or a chain 1. So we're going to chain 3, turn our work over, and we're going to work those popcorns on the front side of the work. So I'm just going to work over to my first group of 5 stitches, and I will show you how to work that popcorn on the front, the revised popcorn on the front of your work. Going a little fast just to get over to that popcorn. Okay, so here we are to our 5 double crochets. We're going to yarn over, and this time, because we're on the front side of the work, we're going to go in through the front of our stitch. And then we're going to go through that first double crochet, come over to our last double crochet, and insert our hook into that stitch, yarn over, and pull through both, and then double crochet. Now you can do this with, if you're doing half doubles or singles or trebles for popcorns, you can do it the same way. You're just following the stitches exactly the same, but when you come to this popcorn, you join it on the next row instead of drawing up a loop, pulling your hook out, and squishing it together like this. So I'm going to work to the end of this row, and we will look at it again. Just a brief look at it. Oops. Here we are. It does make the following row a lot easier when you're working into the top of an actual like double crochet versus a chain or a slipped stitch. It makes it a lot easier to work. All right, I'm to the next popcorn, the revised popcorn. One more time, I'm going to yarn over as if I'm going to double crochet. I'm going to insert my hook from front to back into that first stitch. Then I'm going to reach it over to the last stitch and bring it through the last stitch, yarn over, and pull that yarn over through both of those stitches. Now you have your standard 3 loops on your hook for a double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 more. And I'm going to finish this row so I can lay it down. All right. So one of these, all of these, out of all of these, one of them is the traditional standard popcorn. One of them. Just in the last few rows. There you go. So that is how I was just sitting there and it came to me, and this is how I decided that I wanted to try doing a revised popcorn for those who really don't care for the traditional way of doing a popcorn. You might want to try this out. I hope that this has helped somebody. And if you've seen somebody else do this, let me know down in the comments section where you found it, where you've seen it, or have you done this? It just popped in my head, and I wanted to share with you how I'm doing it. So, all right, everyone, be blessed, be a blessing, and until next time, bye for now.